Let's say China.
China.
China. China.
There are next door neighbors, and you can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
You go over to China.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Trump statement, tweeting out insults to Angela Merkel. What's he doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host.
Well, hello. It is I, James Andrews. You are listening to So This Happened. Really, the only news you will ever need. It is Thursday, or as I like to call it, pre-Friday, the 20th of April 2017. Bill O'Reilly is still fired, but don't feel too bad for him because it's reported that he gets away with a $25 million payout. And I just don't know how he's going to get to live on that amount of money. I mean, how could that possibly be expected? It's ridiculous is what it is. It's a scandal. $25 million. I mean, how do they expect anybody to live on that? Anyway, we might get back to Bill O'Reilly if we have time today. But I want to start with something that I thought long and hard about whether I wanted to talk about this today because it's going to upset some people. And I have been accused in the past of being slightly biased against the right-wing Republican Party. Me? Biased? What an accusation. But I'm not going to do that today because I'm actually going to talk about Bernie Sanders. Now, I know it's very tricky because Bernie, he was the darling for a long time, wasn't he? A lot of the college kids, these millennials, they loved Bernie Sanders, which, to be honest, was a little weird to me because he has nothing in common with him. He's this old, rich white man who looks like a college professor. But they loved him. They loved what he was saying, mainly, I think, because he said, you can go to college for free. And I'm going to pay all your medical bills for free. And there was a lot of free promises from Bernie Sanders. But he might be becoming a little bit of a problem for the Democratic Party right now. He just embarked on a come together and fight back tour with the DNC committee chairman Tom Perez. But he's not really helping Tom Perez or the Democratic Party at all. He's said already that he isn't really a Democrat anyway. He refused to endorse Jon Ossoff, who, as we talked about yesterday, just marginally lost, winning an outright 50% and sending him to Congress. So what exactly is Bernie doing? Now, I'm going to play a little clip here from a part of this come together and fight back tour, and we have to play it very, very quickly because if Trump Vader comes, I think Bernie gets a bigger round of applause than Trump Vader. So anyway, here's Bernie at the convention. We're going to get this over fast.
Thank you, Miami. We have got to begin to look at what is really going on in America and have the guts to confront those issues. The wealthiest nation in the history of the world, but the fact is that most people don't know how wealthy we are because almost all of the new income and wealth is going to the top 1%. That means rebuilding the Democratic Party, making it a grassroots party, a party from the bottom on up.
So the crowd are going absolutely wild for Bernie there. And the funny thing is, the more I look at Bernie, and I know it's been compared before, but he looks exactly like Statler of Statler and Waldorf from the Muppets. Do you remember these two guys?
What was that?
It's called the medium sketch.
The medium sketch?
Yeah, it wasn't rare and it certainly wasn't well done.
But all joking aside, right? Bernie Sanders is this very beloved character within the Democratic Party, but he really does seem to be moving away from the rest of the Democratic Party. Most of the party is still licking their wounds over an election that was, frankly, it was upsetting for them. You know, Hillary was ahead in the polls up until the day of the election, and I think that reality, when Donald Trump started to win, it just really knocked the Democrats for six. That's a cricket term, which you probably don't use here, but I suppose it means, well, it means, you know, hitting a home run, but you wouldn't. It doesn't really mean the same thing, because in cricket, if you hit a six, it's good because you're getting 6 points. But if you knock them for six, it also means, it knocked them down. But if you say they hit a home run, that's fantastic. So it's a really bad analogy and a big ramble. I don't know what's going to happen with Bernie Sanders. I don't think anybody knows right now. He's on this tour, and he's saying things which really do break from the Democratic Party. The real question is going to be, do the people want that, or do they want to stick with the Democratic Party line? And I think what we're in for is we're going to see some very interesting things happen over the next few months, particularly into 2018 with the elections coming up. There is going to be a split, I think, in the Democratic Party. I'm not clairvoyant, but that's just how I see this going. I think you're going to have a part of the party led by Bernie going in one direction, and the other half of the party being led by somebody else going in the other direction. And I don't know which is right, but it's something that I think we are going to see. And we'll all be watching that with great interest, I suspect. Anyway, there was a dinner at the White House. And at that dinner, Sarah Palin of I Can See Russia from My Front Porch fame was invited, and she was told to bring along a few guests, among who she brought Ted Nugent, he's kind of like Eric Trump, isn't he? He's a fuckhead. And Kid Rock, who's, he went from being sort of a rap guy in the 90s to now he's just a full-out redneck. And the photograph, it's priceless. You have to look it up. I wish I was on TV right now. I mean, not really, because my hair's a mess, but I wish I was on TV so I could show you the photograph. You know, Trump's sitting there, and you've got Kid Rock and Sarah Palin and Ted Nugent and some other people I don't really know. It looks like a reunion of the Beverly Hillbillies. So it's like the Washington Hillbillies, you know. There's Jed's there, and Jethro, and Addie Mae, and Granny, and they're all there. It's great. Just look at it, look at the photograph, and think Washington Hillbillies, and it's perfect. And I did say that if we had time, we might get back to Bill O'Reilly, and we're going to sort of indirectly get back to Bill O'Reilly. I was listening today to Donald Prager. He's a conservative talk show host. He has a program that he does daily. And he has what he called the Men-Women Hour. And he claims to be a very, unbiased, unsexist man. But the problem is everything he says is just incredible. That he was almost trying to excuse Bill O'Reilly in the sense that, males have this sexual character that women have to understand. And that's why our vice president, Daddy Pence, was so fantastic when he refuses to have dinner with a woman because he may not be able to control himself. Well, that's just fucked up, man. Look, I can go to dinner with any woman in the world, and myself or Mrs. Andrews is not going to be concerned that I might I might just have to have sex with her. She wants to have dinner. She might want sex. How fucking arrogant are you, Daddy Pence? Nobody wants to have sex with you. Literally nobody wants to have sex with you. Nobody. But I digress. What I'm going to look at is the culture that Bill O'Reilly lived in. Fox News. Now, there have been many allegations over the years of sexism within Fox News. And what I've done here is compiled a little compilation of my favourite sexist moments from Fox News. So sit back, enjoy.
The male typically is the dominant role.
Didn't men give you the kitchen?
There's got to be some
downside to having a woman president, right? Something.
Well, then I guess if you're in a bar and she slaps you, you punch her in the face.
This is a caveman dragging a woman by the hair with one club in one hand and the woman in the other hand.
A hoe is a hoe, right?
The great Dr. McCarty.
Why not reward her for a nice body?
Are movies like the Disney smash hit about an ice queen and her sister empowering girls by turning our men into fools and villains?
So I think men should be able to veto women's abortions.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
My role as a woman.
Yeah.
Headline time.
Women are everywhere. We're letting them play golf and tennis now. It's out of control.
You know what?
You know,
Wolfing down chili dogs with the dietary dominatrix, Michelle Obama.
When you interview her, will she be sitting on your lap?
One can only hope.
you were actually sweating.
Yeah, it was hot as hell out.
Can we get video of that for next week?
She is finding fault with men on the street saying hello to her, which may in fact be their only way of contacting women. It's their bar, and she's walking through it.
Inez, to be taken seriously, you can't wear skin-tight jeans.
Right, and she's a slut.
I don't think anybody would be standing with Wendy in Texas if she, weren't a handsome woman.
Men are depressed, and it's their own fault because men are allowing women to take over the world.
She is a wonderful actress, and she's got a great body.
The only thing hotter than Brenda's outfit today
Is there something about the female brain that is a deterrent for getting on board with tech? Is there?
Here's a question that we're almost hesitant to ask, but it's a growing trend in America, so we will.
Okay. Fuck off, you wankers. And you can probably hear Trump Vader came in while I was playing those sexist comments, and he was digging them. He wears a mask, but I could see he was digging them because he's told me that he is above it. He can't get as Dark Lord of the GOP. He cannot be prosecuted for sexual assault. It just can't happen to him. It won't happen. So he's happy as could be. He's nodding. He doesn't even realise there's anything wrong with that. He's just nodding. Just nodding. Anyway, Trump, Vader, your tweet? Yeah, go ahead. Take the microphone, my friend. Read your tweet.
We're going to use American steel. We're going to use American labor. We are going to come first in all deals.
That was, you know what, Trump Vader, and I'm not just saying this to make you feel good, but that was poetic. I mean, that could be a song. That was really nice. Okay, I know it's that time now where we have to give him a round of applause. He absolutely loves it. He lives for the attention. So let's give Trump Vader a round of applause for a really, really poetic tweet. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. That is a lovely round of applause for him. He's so happy with that. He literally skipped out of the studio. I mean, he was like a little lamb at Easter. It was absolutely beautiful. Anyway, listen, we are at the end of the show. Thank you so much for listening. You can follow me on Twitter at SoThisHappened. And listen, if you like what we're doing here, subscribe to this podcast on either iTunes or Google Play or whatever you're using. And if you really, really, really like it, you can write a review. But only if it's nice, because like Trump Vader, I love the attention if it's positive. And now, through the magic of modern technology, we have taken Trump Vader's tweet from today and we have turned it into what I believe is a hit song.